Stand back! There's a hurricane coming through. But unfortunately for TNA, it is not Hurricane Helms, it's not Gregory Helms, it is not Shane Helms. In fact, it is Hurricane Helene, and it is causing a lot of damage to Bound for Glory. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. As of right now, TNA Wrestling is a little bit of a mess. It looks like they are going to have to cancel scheduled back-to-back Impact tapings in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Now, they've actually had to cancel them. They're hoping that they can get these tapings to take place elsewhere, but for now, the original scheduled tapings have not took place. They're not going to be taking place, and TNA needed these tapings as it was going to be two Impacts on the build-up for Bound for Glory. So they're in a bit of a sticky situation because they're on the lead-up to their biggest pay-per-view of the year, but they're unable to film shows for that Bound for Glory. And as things are currently looking at the moment, TNA might have to air two Best of TNA episodes instead of a 2-hour show. And that's a disaster at any time of the year, but especially on the build-up to your biggest show of them all. Could you imagine WWE back in the day? I know WWE's crap today, so it doesn't matter. The go-home SmackDown for WrestleMania, it's just a throwaway SmackDown anyway, but back when wrestling was good, could you imagine going into WrestleMania 17 and WWE had to show on Raw just two best episodes of WWE, like episodes of just featuring matches from the past? What a disaster that would have been, and that appears to be what is happening with TNA. So, Wrestling Headlines have released the following article, and we'll just read through it here, and it pretty much gives us everything we need to know. So, TNA Wrestling did the best they could to avoid cancelling their original scheduled back-to-back Impact taping in Spartanburg, South Carolina. After initially postponing the shows, the decision was made on Saturday to cancel them altogether. The company reportedly went above and beyond to avoid doing this, as these were set to be the shows that built to their biggest event of the year, TNA Bound for Glory 2024, on October 26th in Detroit, Michigan. To make matters worse, the company did more promotion than usual for these shows, including sending the Hardys duo of Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy to make the media rounds in Spartanburg. Some of the staff that was already in the area faced power outages in their hotels, and there was trouble finding vacancies anywhere else. Things were bad enough that many had to charge their phones in their cars. Ultimately, due to the issues stemming from Hurricane Helene, the call and announcement was made regarding the Spartanburg cancellations. TNA are already scrambling, looking for ways to get things back on track, with talk of running Skyway Studios in Nashville, Tennessee next week for tapings of TNA Impact leading up to TNA Bound for Glory 2024. The same venue hosted TNA tapings during the pandemic, as well as the TNA Slammiversary 2021 show. This week's episode of TNA Impact could end up being a Best of TNA Bound for Glory special if things aren't resolved. We will keep you posted. So, there you go, guys. It's not good on the build-up for Bound for Glory, and there is two shows that they were scheduled to do tapings at, and at the moment they can't do those shows. They've nowhere to tape those shows, and they're running out of time to do so. They don't have anywhere to do it, essentially, and they're trying to scramble about trying to find a building and whatnot. This is just not what TNA needed, especially if they did spend money, if they did do extra promotions, extra advertisements. You know, they're trying their best here. They're trying to go all out, and you know, it's just came back to bite them on the ass, getting the Hardy Boys to do promotion for a show that doesn't even happen. So, yeah, very disappointing, It's unfortunate for TNA, but at the same time, hurricanes are a real thing. We don't really get them in the UK. We've never really been affected by one in the UK, but unfortunately, in North America, they can be pretty bad. So, I mean, I guess at times there is a little bit more important things to worry about, certainly, than professional wrestling. But still, this is a wrestling channel, so therefore we will emphasise the wrestling part that has been affected by Hurricane Helene. And I mean, it's not good for TNA, especially the timing of it. You know, it's not like a throwaway period throughout the year. It's on the build up to their biggest show. So to have this news, to have this setback, to have these issues, these problems, it is not great, especially when TNA, you know, already aren't exactly blessed with amazing finances, and then, you know, you throw this into the mix. Scott Steiner would say your odds of succeeding, your odds of winning drastically go down. So, yeah, not good for TNA. Hopefully they get this sorted, though. Bound for Glory, it's got potential to be a decent show. Joe Hendry competing for the world title. You've got Matt Cardona and PCO in a Monsters Ball match. Potentially got the Hardys doing something cool. So, yeah, Bound for Glory. It could be the best pay-per-view of the year. I mean, why not? Honestly, the standard's pretty low at the moment. I don't see why Bound for Glory couldn't be better than anything we've seen from WWE and AEW. But at the moment, we don't even know if we're going to see it, because this hurricane stuff is causing big problems for total non-stop action. And at the moment, the action has kind of stopped from TNA, pun intended. Anyway, guys, that's it. Catch you in the next one. Been Fog Wrestling. Leave a like, leave a comment. We'll see you next time. Peace.